Hello everybody, welcome. This is the Right Wabbit from down the Wabbit hole, and today I wanted to just bring you a real quick synopsis, review of Disclosure Day. There's a lot of people slating it. There's a lot of big guns talking about it. David Icke, I've just seen talking about it. I want to give you my perspective as quick as I can, keep your attention, in regard to the awakening and the story that it presents for those that can see. All right, if you're following me, you're on my algorithm, hopefully you understand what that means. So very quickly, we have a few characters in the movie. We have Daniel. He's the numbers guy. He's been able to see for a very long time numbers in a very proficient way, and everything sort of falling into place when Hugo, the black gentleman, calls him up and says, I need you. And the reason I refer to Hugo as the black gentleman, very simply, is because B and G are the initials of black guy. And BG is a very prominent character in the XRP Riddles, and it is very important to understand that this Hugo character, akin to Hugo from Flair, these names are chosen very appropriately, I believe. He literally acts as a threshold guardian in this film. The exact same role that BG has been playing over these years to show us riddles, show us the script, show us what's coming before it comes. The whole team of Mr. Poole and all of the Riddlers. And this Disclosure Day, it really sets the tone for everything all the Q lovers have been on the journey for the last sort of 5 to 8 years. All the Riddlers. It really, this is like the Q dump of films, in terms of this is what it would be like. This is exactly the experience. And from our perspective, actually, we've been getting all this disclosure for the last many years. And whether it actually plays out that the whole world are going to get some kind of big disclosure dump, who knows? But I think they already have been. And if you've had eyes to see, you've been getting the disclosure. And this film encapsulates, the truth behind the reality of aliens. And for me, the aliens have always signified a comparison to AI. So you've got the AI in Alien, okay, and you've got Alien Invasion, which again has the initials of AI. And there's a massive crossover of, that alien technology. Well, that's what really is AI is to us. It's alien technology because we're not used to it. It's something new. And so when something's new, it's alien to us. It's foreign. And of course, you've got the lie aspects to it as well. So, are aliens in themselves, the little green men, real, or is it, just a metaphor for the future technology and future awareness? For the people like us who can see and hear things differently, we are also alien to the rest of our comrades on this earth, because we're just different. So we're alien in belief, in mindset. So there's a big, crossover there to sort of step away from the belief that little green men do actually exist, to actually what's the story really about. So that's that. The numbers guy, I massively resonated with him because he could understand the alien language, and so to me, in comparatively, what I've been studying riddles for the last 5 years, that's an alien language. It really is an alien language. If you don't know how to read it, and I'm not saying I do, but I feel like I've got a lot better. I've been studying lots of different ciphers, code, etc., gematria. To everyone else, that's alien language. But the premise of it is that the alien language is mathematics, and that's why he understands it, because he's the guy of numbers. And I really resonated with that character. And he'd been given that source code a lot longer than the weather girl, the forecaster. She was very new to it, very she hadn't had any experience, and until later on we find in the film that she did when she was young, about 10. And so the duality is that those characters had an experience when they were children, and now as adults they're bringing forth the truth, and they, empathy was basically the biggest message of these characters. They had empathy where others do not. And what's interesting is women in our scene, in our environment, lots of them call themselves empaths because they are much more empathic and empathetic towards the world, and they can see and feel things differently, whereas the men are a lot more mathematical, and want to solve the riddles and want to go and make a load of money on crypto. And so there's those very two defined kind of roles. And this film played that perfectly. And for me and my wife, it was just literally like watching a documentary. Absolutely unbelievable what Steven Spielberg's put across there. For me and my wife, we were just blown away. Literally a documentary. And, maybe you resonate with that if you're on that wavelength. Maybe you don't. But even if you're like not a massive numbers guy like I am, if you're following the script, you've followed a little bit of cue, you've followed some riddles, you can still see patterns at play and the script at play that others cannot, and that puts you in that category. So overall, I think the film was brilliant, and it really did that final sort of third create a very, very emotive. Wow, this is all the hard work we've been putting in over the years. It's finally paid off. The truth is out there. Release. We have a purpose. It was a really nice vibe, and there's clearly a lot going on. It's quite parallel. A lot of parallels with the way current affairs are, and I think there's a big challenge coming for a lot of us. World War III was mentioned in the film. There was another blackout before the disclosure actually occurred, and so whether actually we ever get a full disclosure like that, a big dump of information, I don't know. It could be part of the psyop, or it could be just the program for things to come, where we all get to say, oh wow, see. But bear in mind that a lot of it has already been disclosed to us. We're already aware of it, and are the general public really going to need to be aware of it for there to evoke change? I don't know, but certainly for the illuminated ones like us, we are going to be able to see things. It was really interesting. They used animals as the threshold between alien and human. The aliens would be in animal form to present themselves to the children. And what's interesting is BG, he is the animal. He's he's like the werewolf, the dog cross bear. Yes, he's called a bear, but he's got canines. He's probably a werewolf because he likes to have fun in the moon, just like the full moon of a werewolf. But BG basically, if you didn't know what BG was, because you don't know what he is he alien? Does he come from the future, like some people like to have fun with? Is he from another world? Is he just a secret Mason? I don't think he is necessarily just a secret Mason. He knows too much, in my opinion. The script and everything coming is just too powerful to just be a random guy. So BG's from the highest of highs, wherever he comes from. But it's interesting that they use that animal comparison in the film. If we really knew what BG looked like, would we be able to accept the messages the same? And I think, ultimately, essentially, most of X is run by AI, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a strong AI element behind BG. There will, of course, be some humans somewhere along the way, the main obvious people we know about. But isn't that strange that David Schwartz and Elon are literally 589 days apart in age? See, that's just weird in itself. That's contrived. That how can that be? That literally is a how can that be? Two of the most influential men in the world with technology are only 589 days apart in their birth, their creation. And it makes you wonder, geez, like how much of this has been planned in advance. What are they? Is David Schwartz just Bishop from Alien? Has he ever existed as a human? I don't know, I'm just having some fun. But do you know what I mean? There's so many unanswered questions, but this film, it does a really good job to bridge that gap. The weather girl, the forecaster, she gets really good at forecasting what's coming, seeing people's feelings, the empathy there, and she's driven by just her intuition for the answers, and it's really, really good. I loved it. And going back to the children element, finally, children in this film, when they received their first messages, they were children, so somewhere up to about the age of 10. And there was a mention of 5 years ago as well. We, the newly awakened people, have reborn. We are children again as a result. Everything we've ever known, we're relearning. And that's why the metaphor of children, the duality of your inner child is always in these films, because we started again. Our lives began again. For me, it was 5 years ago, just over. So in that regard, I'm only 5. And I've done a serious amount of learning in those 5 years. But allegorically, the child in that film receiving the information is the same person as the adult who is now actually having to cope in the real world as the adult with an inner child of new knowledge. So you imagine in another 5 years how much more knowledge and understanding we'll have of this world around us, and hopefully we can all become successful on our own rights. And I think that's what these kind of movies want us to become. Steven Spielberg made this film for us because the clear message was clear there. Use your talents, discover them, speak your truth, be empathetic to the world, and follow the Guardian. Follow BG through the portal, figure out what's on the other side, get rich, don't be greedy, figure yourself out. And finally, I saw some signs in that film that I think are worth mentioning. The bird that was seen in the film is called a cardinal. I can't help think that sounds awfully like a certain crypto project, like Mr. Hodgkins, whatever his name is. Then there was certainly the flare element with Mr. Hugo being BG. In the footage released, there were certainly some flares being launched. There was definitely a big pyramid-shaped dark object, very much like an Ethereum. And of course, XRP encapsulated the fire station that they were all based at. So interesting. There's clearly something. Oh, and the big deer, of course, the buck. The buck was huge. And I don't know if that means that the dollar is about to become very, very powerful, or you're going to make a load of bucks. But either way, there's definitely the case of learning, not holding on to anything, releasing, and becoming a better you, really. So that's it. That's kind of where I am with that. I hope that helps to see a different view of the film, and I really apologize if it's a bit quick and a bit all over the place, but I don't really have time to do a proper video, but I just wanted to get it out there as kind of just a thought in the wind. All right, take care, have a wonderful weekend, and let's hope for an amazing June.